I'm not the best b-boy in the world, but I'm like very happy. I'm a very happy b-boy, just like happy for what I'm doing. You know, just like every I think it doesn't need to be like best b-boy in the world, as long as you have some meaning. What you do, what you're doing, what is your directions. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're here with Thaiyo from L4O, Now or Never. Did I miss anything? That's
No,
it?
that's perfect. Last for one, now or never.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
missed one thing.
Oh, that's right. We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, but Thaiyo is also one of the newest members of OURO Collective, street dance-based performance group in Vancouver that I was a founding member of. So I'm very honored to have him be a part of it. But I'm also very honored to have him on the podcast and just kind of share his experiences and his history and just his thoughts on things with everybody watching and listening. So thanks a lot, Thaiyo, for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Thaiyo is like one of the strongest guys I know. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But first, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know who you are, do you mind just giving a little background, like history, where you're from, when you got into breaking, and whatever else you want to say?
All right, let's do it. So my name is Thaiyo, and I'm originally from South Korea. I started breaking 1997 in Korea, and then I was in the crew name L4O, and then we won the 2005 Veteran of the Year. That's one of the biggest career I did. And then 2010, I decided to move to the Canada, Vancouver. There was a many reasons. Just I wanted to speak English, and then also I wanted to do something different. My just lifestyle, right? Just like out of the country, and then learn something new, and then just like change the environment, right? So that will change the whole my idea of a life. So that's why I decided to move to Canada, 2010, and then I joined the Now or Never crew from in Vancouver. So, and then now I'm here in Canada. It's like 11 years now. So
yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm still as a full-time b-boy. It's a feels very grateful. I never expected when I started breaking. I didn't know I'm going this far, right? Like
yeah.
far now, like so, and I feel like it keeps going. So yeah, very grateful as a b-boy life.
Yeah. That's something that I want to talk to you maybe later on about is like, you know, doing breaking as a full-time job. I think it takes a lot of like dedication and discipline and yeah, that kind of thing, like to endure, you know, sometimes there's not so many opportunities, or you have to make the opportunities for yourself. You have to be very active to find the jobs and things like that. And that's something I really want to talk to you about later, is just your discipline and your drive to just like make things happen for yourself. But before we get into that, I'm very curious about just like Korean breaking history, and I know a little bit about it, but do you mind sort of like telling people about just the what you know of Korean, say, breaking history, and if there's any other parts that you need to talk about. It doesn't have to be only breaking, but yeah.
Yeah. So my hometown is called Jeonju, which is 3 hours far from Seoul. So which is a little bit far from the like culture, you know.
Mm.
Not much culture going on. And then I started dance with my friend, my middle school friend, 5 of them. And then the time I didn't know what is even b-boy or breakdance is. Just I watched the TV, and then there was a K-pop group called HOT, and they just dance, you know what I mean? K-pop dance. And then in the break time, you know, in the middle of the song, they do some like little bit of like technique stuff, right?
Okay.
Here and there. And then those kind of things. I just follow kind of like that. So I started like that. And then 1998, there's a legendary b-boy crew called People Crew. They, how can I say, they kind of like
spread the culture.
Spread the breaking scene. Like they made some VHS tape, and then that was super popular at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched that with a friend, and then when I saw that tape, and then I kind of decide that's what I want to do. That's what I want to focus, right? So me and my friend, we become just like b-boy from that time. From that time, first time I learned about the word b-boy. Before that, I had no idea. And from that, like me and my crew, we kind of traveled to the Seoul, because like in my hometown, there is not many people, right? Obviously, it's very culturally not much things going on. But Seoul at the time, it was like lots of crews, so many b-boys. So often we went to the Seoul, we kind of like, kind of like learn something. Mostly we go there and learn, and we copy the VHS tape about like Freestyle Session 5 or Battle Video, those kind of tape. We kind of copied it. We bring back my hometown, and we watch it so many times. And that's how we practice. And yeah, that was my beginning of my b-boy life. And 2001, first time the Korea b-boy team, visual shock.
Man,
you remember that, right? They went to the Battle of the Year. That's the first time they represent Korea in the international b-boy competition. And then when we saw that, I was like, I think I was 18, 19 years old at the time. And then I saw that, and I kind of dream, kind of like, I want to do that one day. You know, I want to do that one day, just like kind of represent your country. And like, and it was kind of like going crazy at the time. The Korea b-boy scene was like changing very quickly. And in 2002, the next year, right away, Expression, the Korea crew from Korea crew Expression, they won the Battle of the Year. Like it was a shock too. Just like I thought we just started breaking, and then we won one of the biggest competition in the world. So like, if they can do it, we can do that too. So you know, like I was in my hometown, Jeonju. Like obviously, slowly around that time, there was more jams in Seoul. So like we would have traveled to Seoul, my hometown to Seoul, just back and forth. We go, learn, we lose. We never learn until like 2003. So 2003 was the first time my crew from Jeonju, last phone, we won in the Seoul. I think that might be one of the first team won in the Seoul, out of Seoul.
Oh, really?
Yeah, beside the Extreme crew. The Extreme crew also not from Seoul. I think at the time it was almost impossible winning in Seoul, because like it almost doesn't make sense because like culturally, just too different. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the time we were kind of new generation, and it was kind of sensational at the time, and like from that we back and forth many times, and then 2005 after we won the Battle of the Korea, the preliminary, we decide to move to Seoul. Just at the time, we are just kind of like do or die. Just that we're gonna just do it. We're gonna like, how can I say?
Like, yeah, do or die. You commit to it.
Yeah,
like fully,
you
right?
commit to it. You fully.
Yeah.
So, like we just eat, practice, sleep, kind of like every day. I think at the time we just practice every day, not even Saturday, Sunday. That we didn't have a one day off even. And then this is a crazy story. We lived in studio, I guess maybe like 300, 400 square feet, and then we lived 5 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dedication.
And then it was a basement suite too. It was a basement too.
Oh,
so not much sounds, or it was like always like very humid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there for like more than 6 months, a little bit less than 1 year. After we won the Battle with the 2005 International, and then we moved to a little bit better place, little bit better, but we still like 5 people in 1 bedroom apartment. Yeah, it was slowly getting better after that. The life is slowly getting better, but it doesn't change it that much, but slowly got better over the years.
Yeah. Like, I think maybe Korea is a little bit, the Korean scene is a little bit different than it was like during that time. It's different now than it was back then, right? Like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I guess it's different every country as well, but Korea was people say around like 2000, mid 2000 is the kind of like golden era.
Yeah,
like, that was the kind of like most characters, and then the power move was just insane at the time. We got famous. Korea b-boy got famous because the power move at the time. Like, not just power move, but power move was a big part of it.
Like power moves and blow ups and things like that, like Darkness and The End and Eagle and I don't know who else. Like, you had all these, like, you and just so many people from Korea during that time. Like, they were just pushing like the physical limits, I guess, of what people thought was possible in breaking. Like, I remember that time was like Darkness was doing all like the one arm stuff, and like The End had his like one-handed like elbow, I think it was elbow, or like just one-handed air flares and things like that. And just,
I don't think nobody can do that what he did before. Even now.
But yeah, like that time, you kind of mentioned it before, like it was this really sudden rise of like Korea, like visual shock, and then the next year Expression wins Battle of the Year, and like it just became like so big so quickly. The level went so high.
And then luckily at the time we had like some like sponsors like Puma, Levi. They put lots of sponsor. They put a lot of money, so it was nice actually. Actually, at the time was like the 2004-5, around that time. The crew battle, the first place prize was 10,000. Yeah, like 10,000 Canadians.
Wow.
Well, US.
Yeah. For that time, that's a huge amount of money.
That time was pretty big, yeah.
Yeah.
And then not just for the first place, like you second place, you get maybe like 5,000.
Yeah. So there was a lot of like I guess like corporate sponsorships, right?
Yeah.
For battles and even for crews, like crews were sponsored by like Puma or Nike or something like that, right?
Yeah. This is just a funny story. Like I told you just before we moved to the Seoul like 2005, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we are so like we had nothing, like not much money.
Mm-hmm.
We just moved to Seoul, so it's like we had not much work as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like sometimes we don't have even money for the like transit.
Oh man.
Yeah, sometimes we kind of like jump over, we got caught. Like it was a crazy stories. But at the time we got lots of sponsor. So what we wearing was pretty nice. It was very, very irony. We have like maybe 5 shoes in the box
right.
in the like the basement suite. Like so many shoe box everywhere. Like Levi's nice clothes, nice jacket, like jeans, so many like but has no money. So
yeah, I would like that. I think some people, maybe especially in the breaking scene, some people have this idea of like, well, if this person gets sponsored, then like they're making it, they're making lots of money and things like that. But it depends, right? Like what kind of deal and what level of sponsorship you have and that kind of thing, and how much they want to actually support the corporations. I mean,
that's right. Yeah, and then at the time was like the base. At the time, the Korea was like how the b-boy survive is normally it's a show. So at the time we really don't teach. Like there is not much dance studio, and then there is not like market for that. Like if there is a lesson, probably like high school kid to adult, they might taking the class. It's not like little kid. There is no little kid classes at the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's just so different from here, obviously, right?
yeah, completely different.
Completely different.
Is it still like that, or has it changed? Do you know?
Oh, now is getting changed. I think like since especially like the Olympic become one of the Olympic, the breaking will be in the Olympics. After that, I think just people more interested about breaking, I guess. So it's like lots of little kids, but still, I think still growing up. I feel like compared to like North America, I think still the Korea's mentality is a little bit more education, right? Kind of academical education that is a little bit more important than something like
sports or breaking or that kind of thing. Yeah, that's a very like kind of all of Asia. I think it's very common,
right?
Yeah, like education first, do science, do math, get your degree or something, and
that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that is one of the biggest culture shock when I moved to like Canada, because like there's so many little kids in the dance studio, which I never seen in Korea. And then like one of my main job is teaching the youth. So I had no experience in Korea. I may teach it like adults, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that was kind of funny too.
But I've seen you like the way you interact with kids, and you're really good with teaching kids and stuff.
It's not always easy, but I think I enjoy the teaching a youth. I enjoy it so much. I think it's fun, and then like especially if I teach the kid for a long time, kind of I see the kid growing up. Like sometimes like kid was like this is small, like so smaller than me, and then over the year they like tower me. Like those kind of things fun too, It's
it's cool to see the growth of the physical growth and like the mental growth or in the dance or something like that. Yeah.
As a like become a little bit of man, little man, you know.
But yeah, like, you know, it's something that I thought about a lot, especially recently. Like, you know, you talk about Korea still has the mentality of education is kind of first, like don't pay so much attention to dance or like sports or something like that. It's lower than, say, getting your university degree or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I think I understand that thinking. But also I think, like, say, if someone does dance, there's a lot that they can learn from. It's like doing martial arts. You learn a lot just by doing it, and you learn skills that can transfer to other parts. You learn a lot about discipline, about, like, say, respect or just training and physical health and that kind of thing. And that's just good for you in general. Like, if you make it a job, that's great. If you don't make it a job, it's still useful. And I think I think that's something that, like, people forget about with dance. Is like, you don't have to make it your job. You can just do it as, like, I always think about that with, like, yoga or exercise. Like, there's exercise classes, and people are taking those classes not to become an instructor, but they're doing it because it's like, it helps them get more physically fit, or it helps them relax, or it helps them, like, get some discipline in their life and a routine or whatever it is. Like, it helps in so many more ways than just a job, that kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like, you know that too, just like we learn the life probably through the breaking. That we started from the young age. So, like, so many skills I have right now, it's definitely from the, like, breaking, kind of like discipline, and then, like, kind of surviving. And then just to me, it's just magical. Just like when I started breaking, I didn't expect anything. Just like I did it because it's so fun. But now I look back, you know, especially nowadays, like being exercise, being active, you gotta do the exercise. Those kind of things, super important, right? I never even worry about it. Yeah. I don't need to, like, I gotta go to the gym, to the exercise, because I never even thought about it. Just I do just the breaking, and that's already more than enough, I believe. And then, like you said before, like, the parents, the Asia, especially Asia, was a little bit like little bit more like focused on the academical, because of the, I think, like, related a lot of culture as well. Like, for example, Korea, we have like, we are the, like, one of the poorest country in the world in 7 years ago, 67 years ago, after the Korean War.
Right.
And then we have nothing in the natural resources. We have nothing. Only the way you can have a good life is education. You study hard, and then maybe you can have a good life. You can make some money. You can feed your family. That was only the way at the long time ago. That's why, like, my parents, of course, they didn't want me to dance too. Like, but makes sense too in their perspective, because, like, they never seen dancers they live well. You know, they never seen that. They never even heard about it. Even b-boy, that is that job, is that you can survive, you can feed your family with that. You know,
it didn't exist, right?
It didn't exist.
It wasn't a job.
It wasn't a job. So, like, I think that's why my like, especially in Korea, it's different in North America, but especially in Korea, my generation around that time is the kind of like golden era. That's why we call golden era, because like we just kept going, but there was nothing in front of us. Just we kind of digging, just keep digging what comes next. And I think that was very dynamic in that way. Because like I didn't know what's going on, but I'm just keep going and see what's going on. Like
it's like a kind of like a pure way of thinking, like you're just doing it because you want to do it.
Exactly.
Because, like there's no, or maybe as you did it, there was opportunities that started to come, but like you didn't start doing it because they were there. Like that happened because people started putting in more work and building maybe, I don't know, relationships with these companies or things like that. And it started to build. But
no, it's right. Like sometimes, there was point maybe like for everybody, like I think like I don't see my future as a b-boy. I might like looking for some other career. And I won some competition, so no, I'm gonna keep going it. And then later on, I might need to find something else, or I need to go to the army or whatever. I mean, so many things always happens, and somehow that's the kind of one of the thing I'm like kind of proud of myself. Just like there was so many times I might wanted to like I think
like give up or something.
Give up a little bit. Just like I might want to keep dancing, but just looking for some other career.
Right.
To survive. Just kind of like but I'm like I somehow I could just survive. So it's like that feels great actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be that way, but it feels good anyway.
Like you wanted to do this thing and it worked out.
It worked out. It worked out. At least I can go ahead.
But it worked out because you I think sometimes like this is a problem that people have, is like they want to do something, but they don't always want to put in the work that it requires to make it happen. And sometimes people think, we say in English, we'd say like entitled. Some people are entitled and they think, well, I did this thing. Sometimes they're very talented too. But they think, well, I'm this level, so I don't have to do anything. Work should come to me. Like people should give me opportunities. I'm this talented dancer. Or they think they're talented, but their level is actually here or something. But if you really want to do something, like you have to make opportunities, you have to build with people, you have to build your own like programs or your own school or your own event or things like that. And like no one is gonna like give you, some people will give you stuff, but most of it
not
is
everybody.
Like, you and your team or your group or whoever you're working with, like those are the people that will make the opportunities happen.
That's so true. I think I was like kind of yes man. Like if Thaiyo, I have this, not much money, can you do it? I never say no. I always say yes.
I think that's like it's weird because growing up in North America and learning breaking here and learning about the culture here, and sometimes you'd get things like, well, don't do that because you're selling out or something like that, right? And I understand that thinking, like, you do some show and you have to dress up in some stupid costume and they just want you to do some like spin on your head or something like that. Like exactly, I can understand like why some people don't like that, but at the same time also, like, if people want to do what they want to do, like live off of breaking and only breaking, if that's the choice that they make, you know, there's always
that's
like
right.
tough
Yeah.
choices to make. Like I have to do this to make money so that I can keep doing it. So I'll do
That's
this
right.
one thing that I don't want to do for something in the future that will be better, or for more opportunities in the future. Who knows, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, like depends on sometimes like something ridiculous thing somebody asked to me, then I could say no for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And especially my situation was like I moved to the Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and then like my English wasn't great
Mm-hmm.
to work
Mm-hmm.
anywhere in Canada at the time.
Yeah.
Only the way I can make money is just maybe teaching dance and maybe do the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was very limited.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for my situation at the time, just like I wasn't the position to say no. So I think yeah. So like depends on, of course, like sometimes like fundraiser, that fundraiser.
Or for exposure, that kind of thing. You do a thing for exposure.
Yeah, that we did a many fundraiser stuff too for the next
Yeah.
opportunity. And then like time goes by, kind of like I build up some my repetitions,
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
more opportunity comes, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like I think this is not for me. I pass to the next person too,
Mm-hmm.
and then do my own kind of business, to kind of find my own work for
Mm-hmm.
myself,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a fun. I like recently I thought about like, oh, I think my lifestyle is very cool. Like I can like just be my boss, right? Just I can
Yeah.
control my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I can set it up, and then each every day is a little bit different too.
Mm-hmm.
What's So it's like kind of exciting that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like just b-boy lifestyle. Yeah, definitely. I wanted to recommend to others, the next generation. It's a good lifestyle if you work hard enough.
Yeah.
Like I think, and then it's totally different generation, totally different situation too. Now it's Olympic is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different situation from like 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe back then, just you have to worry about how to survive as a b-boy. Like people call it b-boy hustlers. But I don't think like that's not an issue anymore. Like if you work hard enough, like there will be an opportunity, right?
Yeah. And like, I don't know if you follow him or not, but like Renegade is a very big he's very outspoken. He talks a lot about it, like
Yeah.
about not just the Olympics, but that's the big thing that people talk about a lot now. But a big thing that he talks about is like no one's going to give you these opportunities. They might happen like once in a while, like Silverback and this guy wanted to give back to the community.
Right.
But like, people in the community burned that bridge with him, and now he's like left and he doesn't want to do it anymore, as far as I know. But like,
Right.
Like the Olympics force people to kind of like actually start to be more disciplined about stuff outside of just the dance. It's like people have to think more about how is it being judged, and creating a system that actually works, that keeps the dance like as pure as it can be, while still giving it something that it's like being judged on, that's clear. And then training judges, and then coaches, and how to coach and teach. And if it keeps going, if people support it, and like just not the Olympics specifically, but Olympics is just one thing that can like bring it up. But and even just like people making high level events like Outbreak, like well, before like Circle Prince or what is that one in Singapore? Radical Force Anniversary or whatever, right? Freestyle session. Like people have to build these things up themselves, like put in the work and do it and make it happen. And like, it's really easy to talk bad about things when you're not doing anything. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
You know, but if someone were actually to go into that position, like, okay, this thing's bad, we'll make it better. Do something that's better. Do something that you think is the right direction. Like, a lot of people don't want to do that. And like, I was talking with Ash.
Yeah.
And he was, you know, we were talking about this kind of thing. And he just straight up said it. And I kind of agree that it's like a lot of dancers are just lazy. And they don't want to put in, they want to put in the work to just develop their dance. But when it comes to anything else, like even something simple like how to market yourself and how to build your brand as a dancer, it's like, I don't think a lot of dancers want to do that even. They just want to dance and have people give them opportunities and give them shows and just wait for it. And like, no one's gonna, you might be able to like coast by if you're really good, but not everybody's really good, right?
Exactly. If you are so good, people going to have you, like people going to have you. But
even that, like, you know, it's this thinking that like, well, if you do dance, like only the good dancers can survive and that kind of thing. It's like, well, if you build a structure for it and something for it to grow, like say, I mean, people have tried it with leagues and things like that. And maybe they don't work. Maybe the market is too small or something like that. But it could also just be like, people might just have to endure and live through that time of it's not getting so much traction, but maybe it's slowly growing. And then, you know,
that's right. Yeah.
It might be something like the Olympics that is like a catalyst. Like at that point, a whole bunch of people see it and suddenly there's a big interest in it. And we have these things that are already ready to kind of catch all these new people. There's leagues or there's coaching or there's classes, there's studios that people can learn at, where it's like when the people come, there's something to hook them. It's already at a decent level.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know if that made sense, but it's kind of rambling.
No, it makes sense. Just like self-employed, right? We are like b-boys are basically self-employed, most of them. So like what you just said, that you gotta not just focus on if you choose to be a like full-time b-boy, definitely not just for the practice. You gotta spend time for your like structure, your brand, build up your brand, and so it's not just like there's no time to be lazy. Actually, it's quite busy. It can be very busy. Lots of things to do. Yeah. So I guess like that's kind of like nature, right? Just whoever put in the work, they will be fine.
Yeah.
Even though not the best b-boy in the world. Like I'm not the best b-boy in the world, but I'm like very happy. I'm a very happy b-boy. Just like like happy for what I'm doing. You know, just like every I think it doesn't need to be like best b-boy in the world, as long as you have some meaning. What you do, what you're doing, what is your directions.
Yeah. You know, I think it's again like dance doesn't always have to be about being the best dancer. It can just be something like for your life or something like that. And also, like you said, you don't have to be the best dancer. Sometimes it's like managing your expectations, I guess. What do you want your life to be like? You know,
Exactly.
do you want to do dance as your career? Okay, that's fine. But maybe, you know, most people know that dance is like the people who make a lot of money are very few, right?
Yeah.
But there's people who can do it as work and survive and get by and even save money and you know, do things, have a family or things like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you think like, oh, I've got to be here and I want to do this, like you might end up with like a very, I don't know, depressing life if you never match up to that, right?
If you never matched up to that, yeah. But I think
like
I think
manage your expectations, I guess.
Exactly. I guess maybe both of us is a little bit, how can I say? It's not a peak time of the b-boy life, I guess, right? So it's a little bit different. I think like there was time. My goal, my whole just like focus was like just being a best. Just like I want to win the battle. Like I want to be famous. I want to win the battle. Like I don't care any other things other than just being winning. I think it depends on your timeline, I guess, right?
Yeah, for sure. I totally think that when people are younger and they have the chance to, you know, you could do that at any time, but it's much easier when you're younger.
That's 100%.
Especially when you're younger, like you should try and like set that goal of like, I want to be the best in the world and try.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Definitely. So like I just want to make sure I just said that like, oh, you don't need to be best b-boy in the world. But, I think that just for me.
Well, yeah, it's like you said, it's as you grow in the dance and you get older, your priorities change and things change. And you know, maybe the thing that you get a lot is like teaching, right? And seeing the growth of your students and that kind of thing. That's a different kind of like fulfillment and a different kind of like, maybe you still want to be the best, but you want to be the best like coach or best teacher or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And then like as long as it look okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to look sloppy.
Yeah. But to me, like I've mentioned this a lot in a lot of my talks, but I really think that like breaking needs to have more than just I want to be the best competitor. It's got to have that other part, which is like, it's just a lifestyle. It's just something that I do for fun. It's something that like, you know, you just do it. It's like when music comes on and you just want to dance, like it's just something that you do. It's not about being someone or being better than someone or whatever. That can be part of it too. That's a part of it. But there's the other side that I think a lot of people forget, that it's just fun. And especially when you get into it for the first time, you see that like people get into it because it's so cool. It's so new. It's so fresh. You can create moves that you can kind of like, that's my move. I made it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just fun.
Yeah, exactly. Just like fun, and then just follow your visions. Like, for example, power move. Like technically, like for example, pocket. Like clearly, not clearly. Clearly he's the best, one of the best power mover in the world. But might be hard to win the, like for example, Red Bull BC1. Because like, but he just focus on just for the power move. So power moves kind of levels just keeps going high, keeps going up. Because he dedicated for the power move, right? So he evolved the power move. I think so. In that way, what he trying to do is very meaningful for the scene as well. Because we see something crazy. Like I think it can be anything. Like for the musicality or like power move or character. It doesn't need to be beat the other side all the time. As long as you do your own vision,
Yeah.
you're following that,
Yeah.
and people will see that, right?
Yeah, totally. Maybe the last thing that I want to talk to you about is just your maybe more recent journey in like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Right? You got really into that in the last several years.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
Like now it's 8 years.
8 years. Wow.
Yeah, I started 2013, the day after Canada Day. So July 13, July 2nd. That was my first day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that journey been with Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ?
It's like made me better person, stronger person for sure. Like I said, I learned so many things from the breaking, and then I applied that to the Jiu-Jitsu as well. But obviously, Jiu-Jitsu is different from breaking. I have something to learn, something new from the Jiu-Jitsu too. And then, so like through those kind of new experience, new learning, always makes me feels fulfilled and then make us stronger. So, but I'm like I always put the breaking first,
okay.
Yeah, so it's like I was like on and off sometimes. Sometimes I got injured from the breaking, so I had to like take some break for Jiu-Jitsu. Just I always try to set a boundary, like what I'm good at, what I what I like, and what I'm good at. But I always put aside more what I'm good at. Probably the breaking, I might be that like, compared to Jiu-Jitsu and breaking, the breaking will be my good side, not
okay.
So always but Jiu-Jitsu, like I love it so much. Learned so many things. Like self-defense, but like lots of philosophy. Many things are very similar to the breaking too.
Like with philosophy.
Yeah, it's a kind of like problem solve.
Right.
There is lots of creativity.
Yeah.
It's obviously very awkward movement. Both are, and then breaking is kind of you can do by yourself, but Jiu-Jitsu you do with your partner, your opponent.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same. It's the same. You have you have an opponent, or breaking is like not touching. Jiu-Jitsu is a contact. So
yeah.
I will show you my I will show you some of my collections.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I will show you my collections.
Ooh, nice.
That's my.
For people just listening, these are Thaiyo's competition medals.
Yeah.
Like for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
There is eight medals there.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you still want to compete and still push yourself, challenge yourself and stuff like that. It's really good.
Yeah, you know what? I actually do. I put that stuff. I was in the box. I didn't put that in the world or anything. Just I put in the box and then. But after the corona, sometimes I had a hard time. Like, sometimes I lost. I feel like I'm like, what am I doing? What have I done? Like, so it's like I kind of like clean up the house and I found the medal. It's like, oh, I think I should put away. So it's like I see what I've done. So I'm not too bad, kind of like encourage to myself, right?
Yeah. It's like a reminder to yourself. Hey, I did this thing. I accomplished this thing. Yeah.
So I'm not too bad. I'm doing good. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good spot to finish right there for now. I'd love to.
Oh yeah.
To talk again, maybe sometime in the future. But
Oh, for sure, man.
I really appreciate you taking the time to just share some of your thoughts and your experience and learning about your cruise history and Korean breaking history and just your mentality, I think, is very, what's the word, like infectious in a good way.
I'm gonna Google that word.
Infectious means like it spreads easily, and you know, you've had such a good attitude towards things, and you know, you work really hard and it shows, and then, you know, people see that, and I think they want to kind of, it's inspiring for people. So thanks for sharing that with everyone.
Thank you.
Any last things you want to say before we sign off?
No, it was a great time. Always like interviewing, just talking back what happened in the just like back in the day. It's always kind of reminded me. It's great, you know. It's kind of like I kind of look back a little bit, so I keep going what I'm going. So thank you so much for bringing back my memories, and then like having a like you are in the Kumamoto right now, eh?
Actually, I moved to Osaka.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so we're in the big city now.
Yeah, it's not close, Kumamoto to Osaka.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I moved there last year in September.
Nice.
Yeah,
man. Good luck for everything in Osaka. Osaka is the place I've been many times.
Yeah,
if you see anybody remember me, that'll be good.
Well, maybe this video will remind them that, like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially like old school guys, I guess.
Yeah. I'd love to talk again. Unfortunately, just because of time, I gotta cut this short. But I'd love to go deeper next time into like jiu-jitsu and breaking and some of the relationships between that, or just parallels. And I wanted to talk about your like bodybuilding history too, because I know you used to do that way back, right?
Yeah, let's do it next time. Yeah.
But next time. Even if it was just short. But yeah, I think there's a lot that just talking about like martial arts and breaking is there's so much, and talking about philosophy between the two.
All right, what about this, everybody? Whoever tuning this video, if you have any question about me, please you comment it down below. And
yeah.
I'm gonna come back, but yeah, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, anything people want to ask him for the future or whatever, any comments, things that made you think, just comment down below, or whatever. Yeah.
Sounds
and
good,
we'll catch people later. Thank you again, Thaiyo, for doing this.
Thanks so much, Dean, man.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having me.
We'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
All right.